Let's find out if these products are actually worth the hype. I have gotten quite a lot of requests over the past few months to try Asian beauty products and review them for y'all. I didn't realize how in demand these reviews were, so I'm very excited to finally share my thoughts and opinions on these products. I have some Thai beauty, K beauty, C beauty, some of it is skincare, some of it is makeup. Before I get into this video, I do want to put out there that I am going to be reviewing these with the mindset of comparing it to Western beauty. Now, I completely understand that Asian beauty standards and also Asian makeup style is completely different than Western beauty, but that is most of the knowledge that I have, so that's what I can best compare it to. Just like anything, my beauty preferences might be different than yours. Now, as always, I'll share with you both pros and cons of each product, so at the end of this, even if I don't like a product because it doesn't fit within my preferences, you can decide whether or not something is going to be worth it for you. I feel like Asian beauty has become just as viral as Sephora beauty products, and I think that we can fall victim to it just as badly. I have acne-prone, oily, textured, sensitive skin, and the reason why I love Asian skincare so much is because a lot of the products work on sensitive skin really well. Starting off with one of the most viral brands, TIRTIR. I thought that this was a brand that was just viral because they were sponsoring influencers, and I always questioned the integrity behind these reviews, but y'all, they're not lying. And even if they were, TIRTIR has some incredible products, and one of my all-time favorite things that they sent me in PR are their milk skin toners. Now, this video is not sponsored. Y'all know I love the Elle milk skin toner. This changed the game for me. I just love a good milky toner in general because although I'm oily, my skin is dehydrated, and the Elle milk skin toner just adds that extra hydration before I apply a moisturizer before bed, and I just wake up with happier and healthier, more plump skin. And the TIRTIR milk skin toners are very similar. Y'all have been asking me which one is better, and to be for real, I like them equally. I think it just kind of depends on a few different factors. The first thing to consider is budget. Elle is expensive, and that's the reason why I have yet to repurchase it, because it's around $50 something for 3.4 fluid ounces, and I believe TIRTIR is around $30 something for 5.07 fluid ounces. In terms of adding moisture, hydration, glow to the skin, I think that the TIRTIR ones give the exact same results as the Elle. The TIRTIR one is definitely a better value, and in terms of performance and results, at the end of the day, I feel like the TIRTIR and the Elle give the same results. They both add hydration, moisture, and plumpness to my skin, but in terms of texture and ingredients, they're slightly different. The TIRTIR Milk Skin Toner Light is of course a much thinner formulation. It is very, very watery, but a little goes a long way. My skin drinks this up. I like to use this in the daytime before makeup. Because I have oily skin, I prefer a toner that's a lot lighter and absorbs into my skin a lot quicker, because in the morning I'm usually in more of a rush. As for the OG Milk Skin Toner, I think this is a heavier formulation. It's slightly thicker, has more hydration, and you can get away without wearing moisturizer. Now, if I'm going to compare these two together, I do think that the Elle is thicker and it's much milkier, but they all soak into the skin fairly quickly. They also don't leave a tacky residue, which I usually don't like. The ingredients are up to you to kind of do a little bit of digging and searching for and comparing to what works for you, because you're gonna know what ingredients work for your skin better than I do. But it really just comes down to what you're looking for and your budget. For me, I would repurchase the TIRTIR one because I think it's just better for my wallet, and it does the same thing in terms of adding hydration and moisture to the skin. And then I would repurchase the Elle for the times that I feel like my skin is super dry and nothing is working, or the times that I want to treat myself a little bit more. Also keep in mind that because this is so watery, a little goes a long way, and I've been using this for I want to say 2 months overlapped with the Elle, and it looks like I barely made a dent in these. The next product from TIRTIR that I absolutely fell in love with, was not expecting to. I probably wouldn't have gone out of my way to purchase this, but I'm so glad that I have it. It's the TIRTIR Ceramic Milk Impule. It's supposed to add glow and moisture and nourish your skin. I use this about 2 times per week. Every time I feel like my skin just needs that extra oomph whenever it's feeling dull. I don't apply it during the daytime because it's just way too glowy on the skin. I love to use this before bed as like an overnight moisture mask situation. The texture feels like an oil and it makes your skin look like glass. So if you want that like Korean glass skin, ceramic milk impule. I especially love this when I'm on my period and my skin just looks like I got no sleep. I apply this on the night before and I wake up with just fresher, glowier, and plumper skin. These together, incredible pair. Incredible pair. I usually keep my skincare routine fairly simple, but these have definitely solved my problem when it comes to dehydrated skin. Then I also have the TIRTIR Collagen Lifting Eye Cream. Again, another product I was like, don't need this. I like to keep my skincare routine really simple. What the heck? It has the cooling tip applicator and then you just push it and product comes out. If you know me, you know that I absolutely love a good under eye cooling tip applicator, and the fact that they made it so that you can push out the product and apply it this way, it's just so efficient, really enjoyable to use. And if I'm being honest, I mainly use it because I love the applicator. In terms of the eye cream, I think that the results that I get from it is simply just hydration. I can't say if it does anything in terms of like wrinkles or anything like that because I don't really have that problem with my under eyes. It just adds that hydration, and I tend to have drier under eyes. Moving on to my favorite sunscreen, which is the Torton Dive In Moisture Sun Cream with SPF 50. By the way, I did film a Asian beauty shop with me at Tesso Life in New York City. If you are interested in watching that video, I will link it somewhere in the cards because I showed all of the Asian beauty products that I was able to kind of look at and experience, and this is kind of like my follow-up video. Anyways, back to the sunscreen. My last one that I was using was the Skin 1004 Centella sunscreen. I still love that. I still would highly recommend that. I would repurchase it, but if I were to compare, I do think I like this one better because I feel like it's less glowy and less greasy looking than the Skin 1004. Skin 1004 looks beautiful under makeup because it has like this glass-like sheen, but I can't really wear it alone because of my oily skin. It will make me look like I am sweating, but with the Torton, I feel like I get just the right amount of glow. And when you blend this out, it just blends beautifully. I have nothing bad to say about this. Doesn't leave a white cast, doesn't have a scent to it. It looks good under makeup, not too heavy or weighted on my skin. It's just the perfect sunscreen, and I would 100% repurchase. I use this every day. I have nothing bad to say about this except maybe it was a little pricey, but it was totally worth the price because I'm going to be using every last drop. All right, let's get into the fun stuff, which is makeup. TIRTIR Mask Fit Red Cushion. I have mixed feelings about this one. They sent me multiple different shades. I have the shade 27N and 29N. I think 29N is probably my best match because I feel like the shades are slightly too pale on me. I also wanted to note that this cushion does oxidize slightly, so keep that in mind. TIRTIR did end up sending me more shades, and 30N is actually a much better match for me. But aside from the shade range, this formula in particular I think is for a specific person. I would describe this as the cushion version of the Estee Lauder Double Wear. If you like the Estee Lauder Double Wear and you want it in a cushion, I think you'll really enjoy this. I was so surprised about how full coverage and budge proof this cushion is. I did not expect that. Like, I thought at first this was going to be like a glowy cushion. When I applied it on my face, thoroughly surprised. There is definitely a learning curve to this, especially from someone who doesn't usually wear cushion foundations. My initial mistake was pressing too hard and applying too much product. Because this is such a full coverage cushion, you really want to go light-handed, spread it on the back of your hand, and then carefully apply it on your face. It's also one of those products that you have to make sure you have good skin prep. I think on bad skin days, I don't like the way that this looks, but if I'm having a good skin day, I feel like this product looks beautiful. I would recommend this to any of you who want a full coverage, long-lasting, budge-proof cushion foundation, specifically those who have oily and combo skin. Y'all know I love a good blush. I think if I was an expert on any product category, it would be blush. I have acne-prone, textured skin on my cheeks, so finding the right type of blush for my textured cheeks is not always easy. So when I tried out the Flower Nose blushes, y'all, I cannot get enough of these. These are so freaking good. Again, Flower Nose did send these to me in PR, but I am not being sponsored to talk about them. They sent me 3 different blushes. The first blush is called Romantic Blossom, which is like a warm tone, bright pink. Then I have the shade Little Cranberry, which is like a berry pink. And then I have This is from their Midsummer Fairy Tales collection in the shade Blooming Days, which is a peachy pink. I have to rave about the packaging of this. We all know and love Flower Nose because of their gorgeous kind of ethereal packaging. However, they blew my expectations because I thought they were going to be like lightweight and plastic. No, they have weight to them. They feel luxe. There's not too much weight where you can't like carry this in your bag. There's just enough weight. So not only do they look beautiful, they feel great. My favorite blush is in the shade Blooming Days. I actually almost gave this away because I was like, that's gonna look a little ashy. Its swatch is a little ashy, but no. These actually have pigment to them, y'all. They show up on my skin. And the formula is just like a soft matte finish. So when you apply it on your cheeks, it gives you that like cloud skin effect to it. If you're a peachy girl, this is the one that I would recommend. And then for these Strawberry Rococo blushes, as you can tell, these are really bright colors, but they're not overly pigmented. I would describe these similar to the Dior formula, but more powdery. Just like the Dior, they give your skin like this beautiful natural flush without being overdone, but you could build it up to be super pigmented if you wanted. These have seriously become some of my favorite blushes, so I would highly recommend if you are looking into Flower Nose. During my Tesla Life shopping trip in New York, I bought the Dasique shadow palette in the shade Chocolate Fudge. I could not resist this, y'all. When I saw it in person, I love a good warm tone palette. I love the chocolatey kind of shades, but also the shimmers looked very appealing to me. Overall, I absolutely love the color story of this palette. What I was most impressed with were the shimmers. These shimmers kind of remind me of the new ColourPop shimmers, where they're like pressed glitters, but they're not pressed glitters. They have that grainy, gritty texture like a pressed glitter, and you could also feel that there's a bit of, what's the word, like adhesion. There's a bit of tackiness that kind of gets the glitters to all stick together, and because of that, I feel like it really sticks onto your eyes, and I don't feel the need for glitter glue, which I really enjoy, because when I use pressed glitters or when I use any type of glittery product, I always add a little bit of glitter glue, but you do still get fallout, so keep that in mind. It's just not as much as other shimmery glitter formulas. I think if it wasn't for these shimmers, I wouldn't like the palette as much. The mattes are really easy to work with. They're beautiful, easy to blend, easy to build up. I like that they're semi-hard pressed, but they're not overly powdery, so there's not a lot of fallout. I think that there's a good balance in the matte formula, but I think this palette could have simply been like a 6-pan or even a 4-pan. I would have been perfectly fine with the lighter shade, the mid-tone shade, the deep shade, and the shimmer, like one of the shimmer shades. I also feel like it's really missing a deeper color, but I know that in Asian beauty or K-beauty, their style of makeup is a little bit more ethereal on the eyes. It's less defined. So for that reason, I think this is a beautiful palette for what it is. The formula, the textures are there. And I also find the matte shadows are, honestly, they're decently pigmented. Like, this isn't a not pigmented palette. It's just the right amount of pigment. So overall, I really do like this palette. I just don't think it's my favorite in comparison to everything else that I own. Then we have the infamous viral mascaras from Judy doll. And these are the mascaras with like the no bristle. It's just a metal applicator. Y'all, these are so fun to apply on. I feel like I reach for this. Well, it's actually a good formula, but I also reach for it because I really just like applying it with a metal tip. I just think it's cool to apply. I really like it because it's not a super wet formula. It does hold a curl. It's not technically waterproof, but it lasts like a waterproof mascara, which I really enjoy. I have both the black and the brown. I find that the brown is not brown enough, especially because I have dark eyelashes. It's one of those colors that you probably have to use a white primer with to really get that brown to show up. So I would have been fine just getting either the black or brown. It does lengthen my lashes, and it's beautiful to apply for my bottom lashes, especially because the applicator is so small and thin. But the downside about this mascara is that it is really hard to take off. So if you hate mascaras that are difficult to take off, you're not gonna like this. And I also find that because it doesn't have any bristles, I do have a hard time getting my lashes to separate. I have to go in with a separate kind of lash comb to make sure my lashes aren't clumping together. This doesn't necessarily clump my lashes together, but it also doesn't comb out my lashes, if that makes sense. I personally prefer my lower L'Oreal Butterfly Mascara, but I absolutely love this for my bottom lashes. And because they're so long lasting, they don't like smudge to the bottom of my eyes, and I can apply them on my bottom lashes and they're just going to stay there. So if that's what you're looking for, highly recommend. I do think this is a great mascara, but if you're looking for something that's going to separate your lashes, probably not the one. All right, let's move on to lip products because I have quite a few. TIRTIR did send me their lip oils. This is in the flavor mint. Y'all know I love a good minty lip product. It smells like toothpaste. It really does smell like toothpaste. It smells like fresh breath. So if you are going on a date or something and you need your breath to smell good, but you don't have like a mint or anything like that, try this lip oil. This is very much giving Dior dupe. It has that doe foot applicator. However, the texture is more of a true lip oil than a glossy lip oil. With the Dior one, I find that that one is a lot stickier and plush on the lips, but the TIRTIR lip oil truly feels more like a true lip oil, but it has that really glass-like jelly sheen to the lips, which I really love. I truly do think if you are a lip oil person and you want something that's not really sticky on the lips, this is what I would go for, especially if you like any of the scents that they have. You can get that feeling of that large doe foot applicator, the same glass-like sheen as the Dior, but not as sticky. And then we have the 3CE. I don't know what this is called. I think this is like the lip tint or the lip stain. So this one I absolutely love the color of. It's in the shade Baked Beige. I love a good orange terracotta lip color, and I was constantly using and reapplying this during the summer. I love how the color really lasts on my lip, but unfortunately it's one of those that dries out my lips again. I hate that. It dries out my lips and then it like sinks into the lines of my lips and makes me look like I have really dry lips, which I do, but it's not the look that I'm going for. So I only really wear this for the color. In terms of the formula, there is better out there, and y'all continuously recommending the Rome and lip stains. I do have one. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. But in terms of the 3CE, as you can see, the stain is definitely there, but it's like wearing a matte lip cream or matte lipsticks. They tend to dry out your lips and suck the moisture out of your lips or enhance the wrinkles of your lips, and this is what that one does, unfortunately. So I wouldn't repurchase it unless there was a specific color I was looking for. I've kept it because I just really enjoy the color, but other than that, the formula's okay. Last but not least, we have the Mistine Latte Velvet Lip Cream and Juicy Lip Glaze. This is so freaking cute, y'all. Did I just buy this for the packaging? Maybe. I have the shade in J06. This one is the lip glaze, so it has more of that kind of glossy texture to it. And then I have the shade in V05, which is more of the lip cream texture. These are actually very similar shades, especially compared to the 3CE. They're all like this terracotta orange color. If you can't tell, I love a good terracotta orange lip color. If I were to choose a favorite, I definitely prefer the lip cream over the lip glaze. I feel like with the lip glaze, it has this like beautiful glossy finish to it, but it doesn't really last on the lips. I feel like I have to constantly reapply it. But with the lip cream, I love that it gives me like that matte texture without being drying to the lips. The lip glaze also has like this strong scent to it. It reminds me of Tiger Balm. Not the biggest fan of that, but the lip cream, it's not as strong. It smells more sweet. So my favorite is the lip cream in the shade V05. My least favorite is the lip glaze in the shade J06. The silver one is the lip cream. The white one is the lip glaze. Believe it or not, there are so many more TikTok viral Asian beauty products that I am currently trying. These are the ones that I was just finally ready to share with y'all. If I were to pick a top 3 recommendation out of this entire video, it would definitely be the TIRTIR Milk Skin Toners, the Torrid Sunscreen, and the Flower Nose Blushes. I know I take a really long time to share my reviews on products, but I just want to make sure to be as thorough as possible. So hopefully this was worth the wait. Let me know in the comments below if there are any products you feel like I'm missing out on, or if there are any products that you just want to hear me talk about. As always, like this video if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye! Oh gosh, I can't reach.